Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going over some predictions for the Animal Crossing Direct. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, you'll know that there's finally an Animal Crossing Direct airing tomorrow with around 25 minutes of Animal Crossing New Horizons coverage. With that in mind, I thought it'd be fun to go over some predictions of what we might see, as well as a few things we hope to see in tomorrow's Direct. Of course, I want all you guys to join in too, so before we get started, hit the like button and share one thing in the comments that you hope will be revealed in tomorrow's Direct. So the Direct will be around 25 minutes long, which is actually a really long time to talk about things. If you think back to what we've seen so far, gameplay wise, including the trailers, TV commercials and the original Treehouse livestream, it probably adds up to less than the length of the Direct. So I have no doubts we're in for a real treat. Firstly, given the length of the Direct, and in an attempt to appeal to those who are not familiar with the Animal Crossing series, I think the first 5 minutes will probably go over what we already know. So in short, I'm guessing Tom Nook will introduce his deserted island getaway package and go over a few basics like collecting crafting materials, fishing, catching bugs, and generally how the island will look when we first arrive. With that said, I think the Animal Crossing Direct is going to be jammed full of new information, and I'm almost certain they'll dive straight in and show us some fully developed islands just to get us more hyped than we already are. I think we'll finally see some shops during the Direct and hopefully get a brief rundown of how the Resident Services Centre will actually develop over time, which kind of brings me on to the next thing. I think we'll finally see some sort of main street, not necessarily like the one we've had in New Leaf, but maybe a new area we haven't seen before with special characters running facilities. I do hope it's something like Happy Home Designer, where we can choose the aesthetics and design the layouts, but I think there'll be a starting point for the likes of the Able Sisters and things like that. Of course, the museum was confirmed to return thanks to the reveal of the Animal Crossing New Horizons guidebook that was announced yesterday, so we know that's returning, but the description of it was quite vague and hinted at us as a player taking more responsibility. So I really wouldn't be surprised if the Direct covered the museum side of things more and explained to us how we are more involved. I'm hoping it's something like Blathers still appraises the fossils, but we get to choose where to exhibit it or something like that. I think it'd be really cool if all our museums look different but still had the same donations. I also think we'll get an idea of what we'll be collecting besides fish and bugs, and hopefully see some artwork and deep sea creatures. We are yet to see anything related to swimming or diving, so I'm really hoping it will be revealed tomorrow. Despite seeing very little gameplay so far, a large portion of it has been focused on the multiplayer aspect of the game, so I think they'll go into quite a lot of details about what we can expect from the multiplayer experience and what will be available in terms of visiting other people's islands and playing with friends. Imagine being able to visit a friend's island when they're not even online, or maybe visiting a massive communal island that's live 24/7, much like the Plaza was, where we can meet up with random people and trade and sell things. I think we'll probably see something like this tomorrow, but it's really anyone's guess. Plus, I think it'll be great for those playing at different times of the day than their friends are, or maybe super late at night, just so there's still a way to interact with other real players whenever you want. It would be cool. After all, we have a similar mechanic in Pocket Camp where random players appear at different vacation spots and you can buy from their mailboxes and things like that, so I think they could reveal something like this tomorrow. Of course, some would argue 25 minutes isn't really a long time, but I think a lot of things they'll discuss will be tiny little features like tools and eating fruit and what this brings to the game, and they'll probably go over a bunch of this stuff super quickly. Hopefully we'll see some new advanced tools. So far we only know of the vaulting pole really, but more advanced tools have been hinted at in the past, so I think they'll probably reveal what tool we'll use to climb cliffs before we have the stairs and stuff like that. I generally can't wait to see what else this fruit power can be used for too. I can't imagine it's only limited to being able to move trees, there's got to be more to it. Of course, a large aspect of Animal Crossing are the holidays and in-game events that often bring special characters to town. I think we'll get some tiny sneak peeks at various events and holidays, at least I hope so, such as Easter, which will be our first major event we'll see in New Horizons, maybe some tourneys or the summer solstice and things like that. I don't think they'll cover these in too much details because it will spoil it, but I do think they'll do a rundown of a few just to confirm some classic events are set to return, as well as some new ones hopefully. Of course, there's still so much we don't know about the game other than living on the island and crafting things. We don't really know what part we play in this. Are we a tour guide, a mayor, or just a holiday maker? Hopefully we get a bit more of an insight into what we're working towards. The same can be said about Isabel too. We know she's in the game, she's been confirmed for months and we've seen her on the artwork, but other than wearing a Nook Inks top, we have no idea what part she plays in the whole thing, so hopefully things like this are explained a bit more too, as well as the other special characters that we've seen new renders of. So yeah, I'm guessing they'll show off Isabel doing whatever she's doing and explain what we have to do to our islands in order to get her to move there. This will probably be linked to the shops and other special characters like Brewster and Leaf. They're almost certainly in the game, so hopefully the direct reveals a little more about the progression of New Horizons and how these characters are obtained, if you know what I mean. There's really a number of things this direct could cover, and some things will no doubt be so obvious when we see it, but I'm super excited to see some stairs being constructed and who will be constructing them. I think we're all thinking the same, and that Mr. Rossetti will be in charge of the construction, so hopefully this is something they confirm tomorrow too. As well as returning characters, I think an Animal Crossing Direct is a great place to reveal all new villagers. Pretty much every iteration of Animal Crossing has seen new villagers, so there's a good chance we'll get some in New Horizons 2 and maybe even a new species. During the Direct, I think they'll probably discuss what it means to be a villager and how they pay off their debts for their tents and houses, and whether or not we as players have an influence in this, as well as some of the features linked to the actual animals. For example, will these animals offer to work for us like they did in the original, such as fetching a chair from another villager, or finding a perfect fruit for someone, and things like that. If it's a thing, I'm sure we'll see it tomorrow. One thing I absolutely want to find out tomorrow is how many villagers can we eventually invite to our New Horizons island. I'm hoping for a large number really, but with some options maybe, just so people can choose how many they want. I honestly wouldn't say no to like 20 or 30 islanders, maybe more, but that's probably too much for the average player, but I think having the option for people would be nice. I have been thinking this could be linked to some sort of island ordinance where we can choose kind of a population cap, and whether it's more of a residential island people live on or an island based around tourism that attracts more visitors who don't stay permanently. I'm thinking there's more to this island and what it means to be on the island, and I think whatever it is will blow our minds this time tomorrow. I'm also confident we'll finally get some answers about Harvey's role and the cabin seen on the cover art. As you know by now, a camera icon can be seen on the door of the cabin, so I'm guessing we'll finally find out exactly what Harvey adds to the game, what the cabin's for, and whether or not there'll be any other buildings or shops on that separate island. I'm guessing there will be. And finally, one thing I did want to touch on was the whole DLC thing. I think DLC will be available in the future, most likely as expansion packs, much like those for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, but I highly doubt these will be mentioned tomorrow. We know the in-app purchase tag was removed from the site, but then it got added again, so there's a good indication this will be a thing, but it seems kind of silly to market DLC or expansion packs before the actual game is available. So yeah, these are just a few things I think we'll see, mixed with a bunch of stuff I hope we see, and now we wait. But what do you think? If you haven't already, comment below what you think will be revealed tomorrow and whether or not we'll see even more features of the game. I'd love to know. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the New Horizons news. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters. You guys rock. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too. And of course, if you got this far in the video, please comment Seaplane Hype. Just to let me know you did, that would be super awesome. And please be sure to include the one Animal Crossing special character you want revealed in tomorrow's Animal Crossing Direct. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.